This is my third video about people. Ah, the two prior videos, I wanted to mention this one thing. There are two types of people according to the Bhagavad Gita, the book of answers from India. In that book, Krishna helps the good king have a fight or a war against the bad king. And the two types of people that humans are, men and women, are thinkers and doers. And people that are very active, they don't sit still. They have two jobs. If they go to Europe, they would go see Europe in 3 days. uh, they are very busy. If they go dancing and they're 20 years old or 21, if in the United States you have to be 21 for men to go dancing, then they would go to 5 clubs in one night. Or at least they would go to more than one. And I remember that if I had to pay, I went to one club. If I liked it, I would dance with somebody there. If I didn't like it, I would just leave. Also, when I was about 18 or 19, I found out that I couldn't go dancing in the United States because they served liquor and I had to be 21 years old. So they wouldn't let me in the door. So what I did is I just waited until I was 21. I still don't buy liquor, alcohol. And I don't like those clubs because the music is too loud. In Honduras, it was loud too, but you could go outside in front of the ocean and walk around. You could hear the music, and yet you would be outside. That's when I started learning about private and public. Because there was a hotel there that I thought it was public, as far as the swimming pool. So I just went in and went into the swimming pool. I didn't know that I was 16 years old. You can't just walk into a swimming pool in a hotel. But I instantly started talking to the beautiful girl there that was staying at the hotel. And my friend and I, he was mute. He couldn't speak. So we just swam with the girl in the swimming pool. She was from Honduras, but her parents lived in New York. And she told us that what she wanted to do was to be a travel agent like her father was and make as much money as he did. So eventually, about a week later, or maybe the same day, I don't know, when we were leaving, I think it was the young men that worked in the swimming pool area. They were in their 20s. They told us that we were not invited back. And I said, "We're not invited?" And I said, "Why didn't you tell me before? I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a private pool. I didn't know what private was. I didn't know what public was." I just went in and swam. And then he said that we were not going to tell you while you were talking to the guest, the girl. And I said, "Oh, okay." Then I told my grandpa about it. They said I should have told him about it sooner because he had sold his personal property to the owner of the hotel. Eventually, I saw it was a business card that said member of Tela, which is the city, country club, golf country club. I never saw my grandpa play golf, but as far as Any Honduran would love to go to the restaurant. The young ones would go to the swimming pool. I never saw my grandpa swimming. And what would the wives like? Well, the only thing that it was a restaurant where you could get hamburgers and fries, which was, besides the meals that they had there, the rice and beans and the food from Honduras. Alright, so now you learned a couple of things from this video. Private means don't go in there. That's like your neighbor's house, or let's say you walk 10 blocks far away from where you live. You can't just walk in and into someone's house. That's private. Even if they have a swimming pool, you're not supposed to do that. And every store in the United States is a private store, even Walmart. And Publix is a private store, even though the name is Publix. Now, most people go into Publix or Walmart, but you could be told not to go in there at all, like for trespassing. They said don't go in there. Obviously, if it's when the store is closed, you can't go in. I just don't go to stores that much. That's because I don't have any cash at this point in time in my life. My daughter was telling me that she doesn't like my yellow shirt. Because that's the only shirt I have. And, well, I have like 5, maybe. 5 button shirts. Well, this blue one, the other blue one, the white one, that's 3. And then those are long sleeve, and then 2 short sleeves. And I was not cooking, I put my white shirt in a boiling pot of water so I could clean around the neck. That's why I don't like white clothing. I do, but I don't want to wash it myself because I had to clean the collar of the shirt and the right here where my wrists go. I had to clean that part. So I had heard in one of my business classes from SCORE, retired Society of Retired Executives, something like that, in Miami. And the man told us how they were selling soap for laundry. And he was in another country, it could be Honduras, another country. And he asked the women there how they cooked clothing. How they washed clothes. And they really did. They used to boil water and put the white clothes in there with the soap and stir it. And that's how I did that. I didn't rinse it. I left it hanging on I have it hanging outside in the sun. And once it's dry, I'll just put it in the laundry and let my wife wash it. Then I'll hang it outside again. But I did a pre-wash. That's what I did. What's happening is I am a minimalist. My coworker, Emilia Trigueros, she was from Costa Rica. She was a housekeeper, and she had a son that was 20 years old when I met her. She was cleaning the building where I used to work as a security guard. And she said that somebody gave her something pretty. And she had thrown it in the dumpster because she said, I'm not going to. She used to think about sending things to Costa Rica, but all that ended up being a whole year full of boxes in the living room, and she could never have the money to send it to Costa Rica. And she said she wouldn't hang it on, like she used to love all of these beautiful glass figurines. Like in this house, we have giraffes made out of wood. All of those things that are there, I have mostly books. But even those twisting music boxes, she didn't like them because she said that when she gets home, she doesn't want to clean anything. And she hates to look at dust on top of her, like, globe, the circular glass thing with the dancing ballerina and things. So I dove into the dumpster and got these things, and then eventually I donated them.